Alright, so now we can finally go into our filtering. I'm in my root level directory on my virtual environment, and I'm going to say python manage.py shell, so we enter the shell. Now you'll remember we have to import this receipt model before we can access it, and that's in from cache tracker.models import receipt. Alright, so now let's do a query on it. So receipt, let's get all the objects in this receipt model, and you'll notice we have the $15 for the notebooks, $250 for the textbooks. So let's add a couple more. If you don't remember how to do that, I'm just going to create a variable. It's going to be an instance of the receipt class, and I'm going to say the merchandise is going to equal to, we're going to say, I don't know, I bought some silverware, bought a bunch of forks or something, and the price is going to be, so now it's a decimal field, not a string. So we're going to say, I don't know, I spent $9.99 on these. r.save, and let's query the database again. Receipt.objects.all, you see it in there. All right. So I'm just going to add a few more. So I'm going to say I'm just going to press up to, I guess, press down. So I get this command again. Instead of silverware, I'm going to say pens. And I spent $4.99 on a pack of pens, r.save. And we're going to say instead of pens, I bought a stapler. I don't know how much a stapler goes for, $6.99. r.save. After I went to the office supply store, I picked up some gas on the way home. So my merchandise is gas, and I spent $45.53. r.save. Then receipt. Maybe I picked up some food, some fast food we'll call it, and I spent $11.99 on that. r.save. And let's see what we got in our database. Receipt.objects.all. We can even do receipt.objects.all.count, and we have 7 items in there. Alright, so now to start filtering them, here's a documentation for filtering, the querysite API reference. And basically what the filtering is that a filter call takes an argument that contains the attribute of a model. So let's see, so here's all the API reference. I'm going down here to the filter, and it returns a new query set containing objects that match the given lookup parameters, and the lookup parameter should be in the format described in field lookups below. Here's field lookups. So a call to filter, this is get, it's the same thing. Let's see if there's, no, these are all gets. Doesn't matter, we still do the same thing. So it'd be entry.objects.get or .filter. It takes as an argument an attribute of the class, ID here for this entry model, a lookup operator, which here is the exact lookup operator, and remember, note these 2 underscores. So you need to have the attribute, 2 underscores, your lookup operator, and then what it equals to. So let's put that in action. So I want to say receipt.objects.filter, and I'm going to say price. Well, let's do this. Let's do merchandise underscore, and let's return anything that starts with a T. And I guess we only have one thing. We have fast food, we have gas, stapler, notebooks, textbooks, silverware. So let's return something that starts with an S. So we should get silverware and stapler. So let's go back here and see if we can have find something. Here's contains. So it could contain an S, but that's going to return anything that has an S anywhere in it. N greater than or equal to, starts with. Case sensitive. Let's do I starts with, so it's case insensitive. So my field lookup operator is going to be I starts with. So remember, we're making a call to filter. I say the attribute of the class with 2 underscores, and then the lookup operator, which is I starts with, and it's going to equal an S. And that's 2 of them. I can do capital S because it's I starts with, which is case insensitive. If we get rid of that, I still get the silverware and the stapler, but if I do a lowercase, well, I don't know what happened there. I mean, if it says it's case sensitive, that shouldn't be returning silverware and stapler, but you know, who knows? That's why we always like to test these, any of these filters or query set calls, any of our model calls, in this shell first before we actually import them into our view. So now let's filter on, let's grab the price. So I'm going to say filter, receipt.objects.filter, the attribute I want to filter, which is price, 2 underscores, and then what did we have? We had GTE, we had greater than or equal to, greater than, less than or equal to, so all of these. So let's get everything that's greater than $100, which should only be this receipt, or this textbooks one. So price, we're going to say greater than, and that's going to be 100. Oh, invalid syntax. Let's try that. So, yep. Now let's try to get everything that's greater than, let's try everything that's less than $10. Less than 10. So there you go. You got your silverware, your pens, your staplers, all that. So let's use the exact. So let's filter price, I think is exact. Let's just try 10. We get an empty query set. Let's try $9.99 to grab this silverware. There you go. So that's filtering. That's Django filters. It's, you know, a little confusing the first time you go through it, but you'll start to see that you can do some very powerful things with it. And you're probably really wondering how this is going to be useful. Well, what we're going to end up doing is calling these commands in a view, and then I'm going to pass this entire query set, the list, you know, into a template. So then I can iterate over the entire list in the template, and say I can print out, the first one we're going to do is we're going to simply call receipt.objects.all, and then I'm going to pass this entire list of all the objects into a template, and in that template I'm going to print out line by line every single one of these. So we could essentially see like our account or our spending habits. We can see every single time we went and spent something. So that'll be in the next video.